we need to do something. For sure. We need to do something. This movie was a piece of shit. What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Thanks for coming back for some more popcorn. So when I saw the trailer for this movie, We Need to Do Something, starring Sierra McCormick, I was really excited. The movie looked cool, the premise seemed cool, there was an intrigue about the trailer that really reeled me in, and I could not have been more disappointed. And it wasn't even because the movie was low budget or didn't have a production or anything, because you could tell they knew how to film it. It was just way out of whack, way too all over the place. And one actor in this movie was just so over the top and overacting that I honestly can't see why they're casting. The main girl it really focuses on is Sierra McCormick, who I've really grown to like when I saw her in the first 2 episodes of the American Horror Stories. And she was in the final episode as well, which was kind of like a part 3 to the first 2 episodes. But she's the daughter of this family that's stuck inside this bathroom because there's a bad storm outside. The mother's played by Vanessa Shaw, the son's played by John James Cronin, and the dad's played by Pat Healy, who's actually a good actor. I've seen him in other things before. But man, he's stunk it up in this. It's directed by a guy named Sean King O'Grady. And like I said, this movie looked interesting from the get-go, especially from the trailer. I even talked about it when I was doing my live streams. But this movie was just all over the place. And normally I like wild and crazy stuff. Like I love the fact that Malignant was a little out there and decided to just be like, hey, let's go crazy with this movie. But they did it in a cool, stylish, fun way that worked. This movie just tries to shock you too much. It tries to do these things to twist you and turn you with no payoff. And Pat Healy as the father is just terrible in this movie. I'm sorry, bad acting. But like I said, this whole family's stuck in this bathroom because of this storm. And you go in there at the beginning of the movie, it starts with them going into the bathroom, getting ready and getting prepared. And they're not too worried about it. They're just like, oh, this will just be one night. Let's just be safe. It's also very clear that there's tension between the family just already. The daughter's at that teen angst moment of her life. The mother and the father are at their wits' end with each other. It looks like the father's an alcoholic. He's got an anger problem. You get this whole opening scene of explaining all that really quickly, and then the power goes out and the opening title sequence comes up. But right after the title sequence and more times throughout the movie, you get these flashbacks of the daughter who's with this girl and she's obviously depressed in life, and they start talking about witchcraft and weird things like that. They both have suicidal tendencies. They're focusing on all these wrist wounds. But then we're back in the bathroom again in present day. And it does that multiple times throughout the film. But the main thing is now the storm's over and they're stuck in this bathroom because a tree crashed down in the middle of their house and it's blocking the door to the bathroom. The director tries to take all these weird twists and turns with you throughout, like consistently, but really for no reason at all and without explanation and no payoff. At one point the son is sitting there by the door and it's open and he's like, oh, Spot's back. And you heard that Spot was this dog who's supposed to be dead? And they're like, you're a good boy, Spot, you're a good boy. And all of a sudden you hear this, I am a good boy.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
I'm a good boy.
Sierra McCormick's arm gets grabbed from the other side of the door. Everybody's screaming. And they finally pull her back in and she's got this bloody tongue in her hand. Now look, I gotta get into some spoilers here just because the movie's just wacky. Once they have the tongue, they decide that they need to eat. They've only been in there for like 10 or 11 hours, mind you. I mean, yeah, you're hungry, but it ain't time to eat a tongue yet. The daughter keeps talking about how she thinks she's responsible for all this, and you never really know why. They keep flashing back more to some witchcraft scenes, a dead dog that they dig up who was Spot. They do this spell curse thing with the dead dog's tongue. The daughter keeps on saying, I think it may have been my fault. I think this is more than a storm. Then a rattlesnake gets involved and gets into the bathroom. The little brother ends up getting bit by the snake. Everybody's going ape shit. I mean, what's going on in this movie? What kind of direction does it have? Is it just showing all these unrealistic things that would never really happen while this family's locked in their bathroom because of a storm? Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, the dad's just treating them all like shit, yelling at them like crazy, acting like a maniac, choking them, trying to shove the boy's head through the door saying, you can do it, get out. I mean, one, no dad would behave that way if he was a good dad and they were all still with him like this. And two, he's just overacting so much that it's just so unbelievable. It's kind of aggravating to watch, actually. Then he starts chugging Listerine, sucking on alcohol swabs. His eyes start bleeding because I guess he's sucking on alcohol swabs. I don't know. Does that happen? They keep looking out the window and they're talking about all these things that are out there like, oh my God. But they don't talk about it. They don't say what it is. They never show it. The kid dies because of the rattlesnake bite. Look, I'm giving you spoilers here because I don't want you to watch this movie. I just want to talk shit about it. It's already just wacky, over the top, doesn't have any direction, and it's just left and right, switching and switching and switching. And Pat Healy's acting is just way over the top. Everybody else is pretty good. Sierra McCormick's fine. She's great. She's just as good in this as she was in the American Horror Stories. The time where I just literally started laughing in the movie is when the snake comes back in, bites the dad on the face, because now he's going blind. He can't see because he's sucking on those alcohol swabs. He gets the snake off of his face and he's just screaming like a madman. Then he bites the snake's head off and whipping his wife with it in the back with the dead snake. I literally started busting out laughing by myself. I mean, what the Ultimately, the daughter ends up stabbing the dad to death while he's whipping the mom with the snake. Then it's just the mom and daughter left, and finally something busts through the door and you're like, oh Then the title of the movie comes up again and it's over. I give this movie an F-. So over the top, a waste of time, pointless, no direction. Normally I don't talk trash about films because I appreciate the time and effort that people put into them. I'm not saying I could do any better, but I do know what's good when I see it, and this was not. So I definitely recommend don't waste your time watching. We need to do something. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. As you can see, I got my new digs setting up right now for Halloween. Oh, I'm getting prepared for a lot of stuff. I'm gonna have a review every day in October. I'm working hard. Well, look for BrassReel Brothers on Facebook. Look for Bobby Williams on Facebook. Look for BrassReel Brothers on Twitter. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorns.
I'm a good boy.